Okay, this will be interesting. Who has a better future as of now? Is it Cedar Fair or is it Six Flags? That's what we're going to be discussing in this video. Jumping right into it, I want to start with Cedar Fair. This company has been owning amusement parks for a long time, as has Six Flags of course, but typically they've been regarded as having higher quality parks. And over the last couple of years, we've seen them continue to add new coasters. Looking forward to the next year, 2023, there are already new announcements for Cedar Fair. I made a whole separate video about this, but Cedar Point is adding a new family coaster called Wild Mouse, and Worlds of Fun will be receiving Zambezi Zener. Those are the most notable additions, and while neither of them are groundbreaking, it's still great to see new coasters coming to the parks. In addition to that, they added Toonbilly to King's Dominion just last year. So overall, Cedar Fair is looking pretty good. They're also bringing back multiple events at multiple parks for this upcoming season. To be completely honest, I was a little concerned with the company following the pandemic just because it didn't really seem like they were making much money, and they weren't really doing anything creative to get more money. But they seem to be doing okay with these new investments. Of course, the elephant in the room, California's Great America, should be mentioned, with that park set to close in around a decade or sooner. But I don't think this is too much of a knock on the chain personally. It does unfortunately make some sense from a business perspective. Of course though, you never want to see a park go, so it's still sad. And speaking of things getting removed, that might be a good transition for Six Flags. Let's start with Salim Basool, and to be completely honest, this is a little concerning to me. In my opinion, since Salim has been hired as the CEO, he really hasn't done very much good for the chain. He's fired employees, park presidents, and raised ticket costs, most notably on the season passes. Not all the blame can be placed on him, but certainly a large portion of it can. Now let's talk about El Toro. Which... where do I start? Toro had an accident last year where one of the cars partially derailed. Thankfully no one was injured, but it did lead to the coaster being closed for the second half of 2021. And now here we are in August of 2022, and yet another accident has occurred. This time with injuries, thankfully no deaths, but a few hospitalizations. El Toro has had multiple problems over the last couple years, and now the question is, will it ever reopen? The state of New Jersey is pretty strict on these types of things. And if I was in management of Six Flags, this is not a good look. You just spent the second half of 2021 fixing up this roller coaster. You don't want to run into more problems immediately after. Overall, I don't think it's looking good for this Intamin prefab. And because this whole video is comparing Six Flags to Cedar Fair, you can take a look at what Cedar Fair did for Top Thrill Dragster. When that Intamin experienced issues, Cedar Fair took their time to work them out. And I'm thinking that maybe Six Flags and Six Flags Great Adventure worked a little too quickly to get El Toro back and running again. But ultimately, that's just a guess. But that's not the only coaster in the Six Flags chain with an uncertain future. What about Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast at Six Flags Over Texas? That coaster is said to close on September 11th. Which came wildly out of the blue unless I completely missed something. There are a couple reasons that this could be happening. First, it uses LIMs instead of LSMs, which I believe are more expensive. So it's possible that they're trying to cut cost here, which seems to be what Six Flags is trying to do right now. I know that this recently got repainted, so it's a little weird, but I really don't know. The point is, if this coaster closes forever and no one gets to ride it again after September 11th, then Six Flags Over Texas loses one of its best and most popular roller coasters. So overall, yeah, the look of Six Flags right now is not very good. However, we can look at the fact that Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger and Wonder Woman Flight of Courage are now open, which is exciting. But how many teasers have you heard for new for 2023 attractions in the Six Flags chain, not counting Aquaman Power Wave, which was supposed to be a new for 2020 edition? Oh my goodness, Six Flags and their rides opening late. If you've heard rumors for new for 2023 editions for Six Flags, you've heard more than I have. So that's kind of the brief rundown of Six Flags right now. To be completely honest, I'm very skeptical. Upped prices, no new attractions, closing attractions, it's just not a good look. Can Mr. Basul right the ship? It will be very interesting to see, but so far I have limited faith. So yeah, as of right now, I think Cedar Fair definitely has the brighter future, even though they're closing one of their parks. It's not like Cedar Fair is doing anything terribly groundbreaking, but because of how much Six Flags seem to be struggling right now, it makes them look so much better in my opinion. Adding new rides, new areas, and bringing back events does so much in comparison to doing nothing and making your visit more pricey. This is a very interesting time indeed to be a coaster fan. Because, wow, will Six Flags go under again? Or will they find a way to figure it out? Only time will tell. But that's it for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.